It's 10 a.m. on the East Coast, and all eyes are on Governor Ron DeSantis as he weighs a potential presidential run. The Florida Republican held a number of events in Iowa over the weekend, while former President Donald Trump had to cancel his rally there due to a tornado threat. Trump posted on his social media platform, Truth Social, that the event would be rescheduled soon. CBS News political director Finn Gomez is following the latest for us from Washington. Finn, good to see you. So while in Iowa, DeSantis had a warning for Republicans saying, quote, "We must reject the culture of losing that has impacted our party in recent years. The time for excuses is over. If we get distracted, if we focus on the election of the past or on other side issues, then I think the Democrats are going to beat us again." All right. So, you can read into it and you know exactly what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Even though he hasn't officially jumped into the race, Finn, what does this tell you?
It sounds like he's targeting Donald Trump in those comments. It sounds like a pretty clear indication that he's getting sharper in his contrast between him and his likely candidacy and the frontrunner in this early part of the race, former President Donald Trump. In Iowa, the Florida governor did go have several events, including one in Sioux Center, Iowa on the west side, and also one in Des Moines, Iowa. It was an impromptu one, hastily put together, but what it did show was he was engaging in retail politicking, something that that you've heard some recent criticism about him not being able to do that, and something that's key on the campaign trail. And you saw the Florida governor doing that. You also saw him attempting to contrast him, as you mentioned, him and his potential candidacy with that of Donald Trump. And you saw that with even having, those comments that he made, and even showing up at the Des Moines event on the same night that former President Trump canceled his his planned Des Moines rally due to a tornado watch.
Yeah, and I think, it's sort of telling that, there's that impromptu visit to that barbecue spot was kind of in the general area where the former president would have had his event. And once again, kind of a little nod without saying it to, Donald Trump. Like, look, I'm here. You didn't seem to make it. So can we talk a little bit more about just how this went in Iowa, meeting voters? He hasn't officially said he was going to run, but he certainly is sort of selling himself or selling the concept that, perhaps we could make America Florida. Does that resonate with Iowa voters?
According to our political reporter Musaddiq Badar, who was there this past weekend, he did register with Iowa voters, and I think retail politicking especially is very important to the Iowa caucus goer who often want to see the potential candidates or the candidates in person. Iowa's such a small state, and there's, as you know, on the Republican side, it's still the first primary contest in their presidential calendar. So you need that retail politicking that DeSantis was doing. And I think that, I think for the most part, there was this positive reaction. He's had some pretty heavy negative headlines over the last few weeks, with most recent polling showing Trump widening his lead over the likely candidate. But it also shows that he's also in recent days received a bunch of endorsements. He received over 37 endorsements before he arrived in Iowa on Saturday. So the DeSantis people, and again, contrasting him being there in person as opposed to Donald Trump, who did not take off from Florida because of the tornado watch, because of the weather, and showing that he's willing to make the trip. I think his team believes that this will help him in coming weeks and possibly help the future polling results that may come up in the next couple weeks.
Presidential Republican candidate Nikki Haley spoke with Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan over the weekend. You know about this,
right,
Vinny, and the discussion centered around abortion. Listen to this.
for a national standard, I think we have to tell the American people the truth. In order to do a national standard, you'd have to have a majority of the House, 60 Senate votes, and a president. We haven't had 60 pro-life senators in 100 years. So the idea that a Republican president could ban all abortions is not being honest with the American people, any more than a Democrat president could ban these pro-life laws in the state. So let's be honest with the American people and say, let's find national consensus.
All right, so what do you make of her messaging?
You know, this is I mean, just want to make a quick point here, Vlad and Anne-Marie, is that, you know, Nikki Haley has not done a lot of network TV. So this is a pretty significant deal that she appeared on Face the Nation yesterday. And I think on this issue specifically, she is providing some space that's unique to her and her candidacy. It already contrasts her with her South Carolina colleague, Senator Tim Scott, who's expressed support for a 20-week federal abortion ban and would sign such a bill into law if elected. And, you know, her saying that she's not going to lie to the American people, that you need 60 votes in the Senate to get any of this passed, and saying that, you know, they're not even close on the Republican or the Democratic side. I think she's trying to show that you know, that this is a unique voice, especially in contrast to the rest of the field and emerging field at this state this place in this early part of the presidential race. So I think you may see more of her speaking out in this lane. She is, for the most part, in single digits in comparison to Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, who again has not yet entered the race. But I think that with these comments, you could see perhaps an amplification of her position and more of this in the next coming weeks.
All right, Ben Gomez, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.